everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of WONDERTALK, where we talk about my Sith Inquisitor's backstory and his choices in my playthrough. On the last episode, I gave you guys the chance to finally decide what combat proficiency I should be, and you guys really voted. Over 300 of you made your choice pretty clear. The final tally was 111 votes for Madness and 191 for Lightning, and although Lightning is the weaker spec right now, you guys really felt like it fit Javik's personality very well. But Madness would have also been a really cool choice, especially with his ties to Sith alchemy. So for now, we're gonna go with Lightning, and maybe one day we'll switch over to Madness. This was a really fun comment from Drat C. Cuff, who was talking about the different sorcerer types. I think the specialty could also be based on your way of playing the character. As I see it, Lightning is externally oriented, and Madness is internal. A Lightning Sork is more flashy, pun not intended. There are lots of lights and sounds when you unleash the attack, so apart from blasting the life out of enemies, there's also an intimidation factor. So the Sork is showing dominance and displaying his or her power by aforementioned light and sound, as well as damage. Madness, on the other hand, is delving into the more deep aspects of the Force and, in essence, more frightening parts. They have taken a more, should we say, scientific approach to the Force. They aren't dominating through sound and light, but instead go for a more gut-wrenching and core deep fear. Lightning is understandable. Light, sound, damage. Same as a blaster. But the Madness Sorcerer is beyond understanding. Crushing the enemy or literally sucking the very life force out of them. Powers that come through digging into the pit of the dark side. That could also lead to research and experimenting with alchemy and living beings, both creating, manipulating, and experimenting with them. All this is of course not to say that you can't make an experimenting lightning sword or dominating bullying madness sword, just that there can be a different approach to the two specialties from a character standpoint. So that was a really cool case strat and a really good write-up of both the different types of sorcerers you can be if you wanted to do damage. And I'm definitely going to say that Javik's master was a madness sorcerer, and Javik is a lightning sorcerer. And in the playthrough, I finally finished up Korriban. Isn't that crazy? I've done 5 episodes, about give or take an hour each. 5 hours just on Korriban alone, and I knew exactly where I was going most of the time. I didn't have to just wander around for the sake of getting lost. And I think I actually missed 2 or 3 quests along the way. I just didn't happen to see the marker or didn't try too hard to find them. So if you're wondering how much time literally the first planet gives you, the answer is somewhere between 5 to 6 hours if you're just actually doing everything and not spending too long just running around doing nothing. That's insane! I can't even imagine how long that is when you add in time figuring out all the menus, playing with your inventory, trying to figure out where you're going or what you're doing. I imagine a new player could probably spend 10 or more hours just on Korriban alone. So for this episode of WONDERTALK, you guys get a fairly fun question that you can vote in on the poll. To vote on the poll, hover over the video with your mouse and press the icon of an eye in the top right corner, and that'll open up the poll. In Javik's backstory, we've decided that his master's lightsaber plays a crucial part in him kind of awakening his force powers to their true potential. I want to have it so that when I get to Dromund Kaas, I will in some way pick up this lightsaber from my master, dead or alive. I guess we'll find out exactly when we get to Dromund Kaas, but in some way or another, Javik will come into possession of this lightsaber that initially sparked his force powers into reality. I kind of want it to be an actual item that I can have in his inventory, even if he doesn't equip it. Maybe we'll decide if he wants to stick with his original lightsaber that he just picked up in the last episode, or if he wants to use this brand new, sparkling, amazing lightsaber that's fairly tainted by both the dark side and by his master, who has possibly slightly nefarious interests in him. So I went on the GTN and I went and sorted lightsabers from most expensive to least expensive. And I found 3 that I thought looked really cool and would fit the bill really well for being a Sith Alchemist Master's strong lightsaber. The first one is the Instigator's lightsaber, and this is a fairly interesting one because it is expensive, but it is not a cartel market item. It's got a very spiky kind of look. It's got a cool purple band, which is usually the color of the Sith sorcerer, or rather the Sith Inquisitor, and it's got a very kind of Sith primeval, kind of Sith alchemist look, and this one was very neat, but it is very, not very flashy, but very strong. The second one is the Tythonian Force Master's lightsaber. Not the best name for a Sith lightsaber. Maybe it was one that this Sith Master's master murdered a Jedi and stole his lightsaber and infused it with the dark side of the Force. But I picked this one based on its looks. It's got a really cool kind of Force mist or aura around the hilt, and you can kind of see little bubbles flashing around it. It's a very animated, very beautiful looking lightsaber, and the hilt itself is also really cool. It's kind of deconstructed as if someone pulled the casing off of the outside. And the last one I picked is Satele Shan Sparring Lightsaber, and for this playthrough we would completely ignore the name because it's obviously not going to be Satele's lightsaber. We don't even know who she is yet. But it's a really pretty lightsaber. It's silver, it's very ornate, it's got an engraved hilt, and this one's straight from the cartel market. It doesn't come out of a pack. You can actually just buy it for cartel coins. A very, very pretty lightsaber. So those are the 3 that you guys can choose from, unless you guys can convince me something else down in the comments below. And you get to vote for which one you think should be a part of Javik's backstory. And when you guys pick it, I'll go to the GTN and I will buy it with my bajillions of credits on my main account. Okay, I'll see you guys later, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say about this very, very special lightsaber. Bye!